I think we've started here. So, welcome everybody. It's great to see a couple familiar names. I see some new ones as well. I'm Arthur Miller. I'm one of 15 members of the Ingram Micro IoT team in the US. So overall, we're here to help our partners sell a lot of the innovative technology that you see being used at your customers as part of their digital transformation journey. That includes augmented reality. We're here today to discuss how industry specifically is being transformed by augmented reality. So for the agenda, we have two special guests. We have Jacqueline from RealWear. They make a product very similar to what you might think about if you think of smart glasses. Jacqueline will explain probably some of the differences there, but in general, that's what RealWear functions as. And Mrinalini from Ingram Micro. Hi, Mrinalini. She's our Global Executive Director for IoT and Augmented Reality. So lots of good experience. We can talk to her here in a couple minutes. So to start, I'm just going to have Jacqueline introduce herself. She'll show a demo of RealWear in combination with a very powerful software application called PTC Vuforia. After the demo, we'll have a panel discussion. I've got some questions for Jacqueline and Mrinalini to respond to. So surprise, guys. We'll start with Mrinalini, just because you're going to go after Jacqueline. And then lastly, we'll have some time for audience questions and answers. So if you have questions, you can hold them to the end, or just feel free to write them in the Teams chat. So I guess the very last thing we'll do is we'll run a Kahoot game. And then I just wanted to remind everybody that Kahoot game will actually allow you to win some cash at the end. So make sure you stay on till the end, make sure you pay attention. Overall from the webinar, you'll see how these three companies, Ingram Micro, RealWear, PTC, we all combine and we help our partners, our reseller partners, from discovery to deployment, and not just selling a single product, but a complete augmented reality solution. You'll see how when we combine with our services and support that Ingram Micro offers, how we can help our partners. So with that said, just a quick intro out of the way. Jacqueline, maybe you could quickly introduce yourself and then just go ahead and dive right in.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Jacqueline. I am the Global Channel Training Manager here at RealWear, and I'm based out of our headquarters, which is located in Vancouver, Washington. So not Canada. We're actually right across the bridge from Portland, Oregon. And I've been working at RealWear for, oh my gosh, 6 years now. So I actually started in marketing, went into sales for 2 years, and now I'm training everybody on this product. And if you haven't seen it, this is a head-mounted tablet. So what RealWear has done is essentially try to create technology for that workforce that doesn't sit at a traditional office setting every day, which is actually about 70% of the workforce. And most of these people are working with their hands, and we know they need technology like tablets and cell phones, but they shouldn't be holding them. So we've taken that tablet, this is an Android tablet, and we put it in a hands-free form factor. So I'll actually show how it's being used later on. But this is it. We have our display actually right here. It situates just below your line of sight. And unlike some other glasses that you may see on the market, like Google Glass, which is a waveguide display, you can see through it. You also have HoloLens. You also see through that. You see some projections. This is just an LCD display. So it views like a 7-inch tablet held at arm's length. Another thing about this is you can actually switch dominant eyes as well. We have a camera on the device. So this is another big thing for us, is our camera actually can move 30 degrees up and down. So we're going to talk about applications in the Vuforia software and why that's important on the RealWear device. But this feature right here, even though it's small, is huge for features like that with when we talk about Vuforia Chalk or Vuforia Expert Capture, is being able to capture what the person is actually seeing without them having to do some unnatural head motions. We do have some ports in the back, so if you want to do data transfer, just connecting to the device, and then also some headphone jack as well. But the other cool feature of this device is it can work with the personal protective equipment that someone is wearing out in the field. So it comes with this, it's called a work band. It actually goes over your head like a ninja band, and then the device will clip onto it. I'm actually going to wear it today in a hard hat, so I'm easily just going to clip it into my MSA front brim hard hat. And then I'm going to share my screen so you're going to actually be able to see what I'm seeing. And how I control this device is completely with my voice. And it's not like Siri or Alexa where you're repeating yourself or you have to memorize certain commands. I'm just going to read off the screen. And because of our noise cancellation technology, I can be in environments, very noisy, loud environments, even right next to a jet engine. And I can be making a video call to someone around the world, and that person's only going to hear my voice, and they're not going to hear the jet engine in the background. So very different technology than like with Siri or Alexa. All right, so I'm just putting this on, and like I said, I'm actually situating this display right below my line of sight. So when I'm looking straight ahead, I don't see the display. It's not impeding my situational awareness. So things like if they are on a manufacturing floor, this is not going to make them unsafe. And if I'm not using this, so just like you don't use your tablet the whole time you're at work, I can actually move this out of the way, and I can even have the display out of the way and still be recording what I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to start sharing my screen. I'm using something called RealWear Explorer. It's not something necessarily our customers would need to utilize. It's just me casting my screen. And everyone should be able to see that now. So this is my home screen, what I am currently seeing. Our home screen is completely customizable as well for the customer, so they can actually put the applications that they want on the home screen, because they're probably not using 50 different applications like on your phone. You can even take away the RealWear logo, put the customer logo. So very customizable to the customer needs. And like I said, this is 100% using it with my voice. So I'm just going to say what I see. So if I want to launch the camera, I'm essentially just going to say my camera, and it launches my camera. So I'm reading everything off the screen. I can even move my camera down so you can look at things. It's kind of dark, so I'm actually going to change the exposure just by reading the top left of the screen. So I'm going to read exposure level with a corresponding number. Exposure level +1. Now brighten it up a little bit. Zoom level 2. Got the false sense in. And to take a photo, I'm just going to read the bottom of the screen. Take photo. And I've taken a photo. And I've taken another one. My files. From here, I'm actually going directly into files. So just like a tablet, this can actually store information on the device. It has 32 gigabytes of storage on the device, but we also have a slot for a micro SD card. So you can put up to 256 gigabytes of videos, photos, PDF documents, but you can also have your cloud synced up as well. So if you have access to internet, you can pull the documents from your cloud storage. My documents. So I have a bunch of different PDF documents here. It's smoother on my device, so I'm slightly moving my head left to right. It's just because I am casting that it is a little choppy, but it's just slight head motion. So if I'm on a ladder, this is not making me unsafe by scrolling on the screen. Another thing about this is I have two ways I can select a document. I can either say the name of a document, or there's these numbers floating on the right-hand corner of each document. So if somebody maybe isn't able to pronounce one of these words, or there's a document that has a whole bunch of numbers and letters in it, I can either say the name of that document, or like I said, if I can't pronounce it, I have a shortcut of those numbers. So instead of saying rotating flex shield or seal, I can say select item 4, and it will select that document. So I actually have this stored on my device right now, and to be honest, it's a little difficult to read, so I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit. Same feature that I did in that camera, zoom level 3. Move my head around and find the location that I want to focus in on. Freeze window. And now I have that just below my line of sight that I can use as a reference, and my hands are completely free. So these are all the native features on the device. So out-of-box functionality, you can take photos and videos, store it on the device, or store it up in the cloud. And you can also navigate between your different PDF documents, scan QR codes and barcodes. Everything else you would use an app for. So I always say hardware device is as good as the software on it, and the software is as good as the hardware device it's on. So that's where PTC comes in. So PTC has a couple different applications that work on our device. We're actually going to do a demo of PTC Chalk today, or sorry, Vuforia Chalk today. Another great one I want to point out that a lot of people use on our device is also PTC Expert Capture. So you have two different things that really the device is mainly used for. There's a whole bunch of other use cases, but these are the two main ones that we see is remote mentor. So a see what I see application, so a video conferencing application. And then also for training. And so for Expert Capture, Vuforia Expert Capture, it's great for training because you can put this device on someone's head and you can literally capture their day-to-day task and turn it into comprehensive training videos. So especially the newer generation coming in that only knows how to learn from a YouTube video, this is a really great way to capture the older generation's knowledge that's about to be leaving the workforce and giving it to the younger generation that's coming in. But another really great one that they have is called PTC Chalk. And this one has been implemented on a lot of tablets and smartphones already out in the field. And here, let me bring this over. So this is what we would consider a remote mentor application. So I can essentially be at home here in Vancouver, Washington, and I may need to assist someone somewhere else. So like my coworker Sheila, who's on the call today, she's actually located in Colorado. And if I needed to help her assess something or fix something, or maybe she's also someone training and needs to check in with me, I can use this Vuforia Chalk application to check in on her or actually guide her through steps to fix something. So how I'll do that is on the left here, I still have my RealWear home screen, and on the right actually is where I'm going to sign into my Chalk account. So I'm going to be both the expert and the trainee right now. Navigate home. My programs. And like I said, most likely customers would actually put their applications on the home screen. I just have a whole bunch because, well, I have to show off a whole bunch of applications. But I'm going to find the Chalk application, Chalk, and now we're opening it up. So on my desktop computer, I'm going to quickly just start a session. And once that comes up, it's going to give me a code up here. So when I connect to Chalk on my device, join session, I'm actually going to enter that code, enter code. So now you get to see our keyboard, and I'm just going to do speech to text. 7, 8, 9, 8, 0, 9, 9, 8, 6. Navigate back. Join session. Right. And here I'm just going to select who I'm going to have share their view and enter session. And then you're going to see right now I'm hearing it. Okay, there we go. So you're going to see one of the good things about this PTC Chalk application, or one of the several good things, is it's going to actually prompt me throughout this application of how to do different things. It's nice because I don't use it every day, so it's very easy to pick up and go. And I'll show you in a second what I mean. Share video. So again, I've signed into this application multiple times. It's going to give me prompts reminding of the things I can do and not do. So I brought out a Christmas decoration, and we are going to fix this. Sorry, we're going to have monitors in the background, because on this side here is where I can really control what I'm going to do. So as the expert, I can do things like, let's see, this is kind of dark, so I'm going to turn on the flashlight here. Now, There we go. Turn on the flashlight. Another thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to turn the low bandwidth mode on. So I'm going to turn my camera off. I'm going to turn the low bandwidth mode on. I have horrible Wi-Fi in my apartment. Actually, all my devices, including my computer, usually I hook into the Ethernet cable. So this is nice because it has a low bandwidth feature. So now I have a little bit better quality video there. But I need to point out a few things. So I have the ability to do annotations. They're not live, but this is actually a lot better what it does. So now it's frozen the video, and I'm going to draw an arrow to what I want the person wearing the RealWear device to actually see. And once I've done that, again, this is frozen that picture, but here on the device, I'm still seeing a live feed video. Expert, I can send it over. And now this has prompted me on my device saying that I have a new image and how to open it. Open one. And now I see this image and I can actually be staring in front of me at my little Christmas set and see exactly where, okay, the pink tree I'm supposed to be focusing in on. Close. But now I can even add more to this. So I can go back to the camera here and keep adding annotations. And it's actually going to create a gallery. This gallery can actually be downloaded too on your desktop computer afterwards. So these pictures can be used for training purposes, even be put in a training guide. And then I can access them at any time on my headset as well. So if this is a task that I'm doing over and over again, now I can see these images. Open to. Show gallery. And again, access all of them. Close. Leave. Leave session. Let's see if it comes up. And then when I actually exit this session, it will come up with those photos here. And if I wanted to download those on my desktop, like I said, if for training purposes or to send to other people, maybe there was an actual issue that I need to send out to someone else to call in. So it's really nice that they have that ability to annotate and actually capture and download those annotations as well to be able to be shared. And I know, and Art, tell me if I talk too fast, because that tends to happen. But that is a basic demo of the RealWear device and capabilities of it, along with a great solution like Vuforia Chalk.
Wow, that was really great. Thanks so much for the careful explanation. Really appreciate that. And I think what we should do, I mean, it's nice that we have a little extra time, I think, now. Maybe we could have a couple rounds of questions. I think the audience would be curious. We can kick it off with Mrinalini, just because she's been sitting there so patiently. So I guess the first question I have, Mrinalini, this will be for you. We know that the pandemic, there's been 12 years of digital transformation that's occurred in the past 18 months. From a PTC and overall XR perspective, what do you see happening in the market in the next 3 years? Why is XR so important right now, especially in the context of an aging workforce?
Thank you, Art, for that question. Hello, guys. So Industry 4.0 vision is turning into reality, right? And that's happening in the manufacturing space. We've been hearing about Industry 4.0 for a very, very long time. And there's a convergence of IT and OT. And that is bringing in all different types of technologies like autonomous machines, robotics, AI, ML, IoT solutions, XR type of solutions into the manufacturing space. Markets predict that by 2024, this would be about $300 billion industry globally, and $100 billion in North America, and $70 billion in Europe, and $65 billion in Asia Pac. So this is a growing industry across the board, across the world. And we also have seen, and something that Jacqueline pointed to during the conversation, the baby boomers are retiring significantly, and you do find that 1/4 of the workforce in the manufacturers are actually the baby boomers, and they will be retiring in the next 10 years. That means there is, since manufacturing is actually a longevity career, you find that this kind of institutional knowledge is lost when they leave. And therefore, as the young forces coming in, as Jacqueline said, they're always asking an app for everything, right? So they are looking for more latest technologies that they want to bring in. There is a great resignation post-COVID that is also setting in. Therefore, the manufacturers are actually looking at how to retain skill, how to retain the information, inherent knowledge, so that they can transfer it to the new workforce that is coming in. I think that's where technology helps. IoT platform like PTC and RealWear, extended reality, and as the demonstration that Jacqueline showed, an amazing demonstration, with the Vuforia application are great technologies to address these gaps.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've even seen it in the auto industry, in auto manufacturing, and just workers not, even local workers not wanting to repair these vehicles just because they think it's a dirty job, right? It's really a computer-oriented job now. I get that. Good feedback. Mrinalini, one more here for you right now. I'll give Jacqueline just a little bit of a break because she did a little bit of talking there. We know that most organizations adopt remote assistance. Jacqueline made that clear. It's the easiest ROI to calculate. You can save time, save travel expenses. What about a few levels deeper? What are some of the use cases that people are taking advantage of in terms of augmented reality's full capabilities?
Yeah, actually, if you go into any manufacturing site, right, when you look at a manufacturing site, especially in auto manufacturing, and probably it's true with many other manufacturing too, you find that they have a variety of machines. And these machines are actually from various OEMs who are from different parts of the world, US, Germany, France, and Japan. So they could get these machines from different manufacturers, OEMs from different parts of the world. Now, and these machines last for 20, 30 years sometimes. So now what happens is there is a challenge as there is a refreshment of resources that is happening in the manufacturing side, or there is a general problem in the production line that might happen. There is a huge need for support for those kind of environments. So it could be either in training, and as you bring on board new technologies, new machines into the factory, you're bringing in training. Sometimes they are moving factories to other countries and they're installing the equipment again over there. And there is training again that needs to be done in those local areas. Then the second thing is they could potentially be having maintenance issues, and they may need support for maintenance issues. And in those scenarios, they would need technology to help them, but the experts are not in-house. They want to return the machine back to service. That means the production line starts performing well. That means that they need to have the expert available then and there. They can't wait for somebody to fly in. So therefore, they need to have this kind of support that they need over there. And Jacqueline actually presented a great demo of how that can be done with the product here. And I think, overall, it is necessary for technologies like this to be in place. And if you look at PTC kind of technology plus an XR, and you can actually help your customer future-proof what they're putting in place. So there is a lot of opportunities because there's going to be a lot of applications, like Jacqueline said. There are going to be new applications that would come out, and those applications can be just loaded and used. So these are the advantages of using IoT plus XR technologies, not much more than remote assist, like we talked about.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we know in the environment today, all the supply chain issues and manufacturing issues, anything we can do to help speed up production is very, very timely. Jacqueline, it's your turn. So job market, right? Let's talk about today's job market. We have this combination of people making dynamic changes in and out of their industries. And it's an aged workforce, like we've talked about. They're adopting to new digital. Can you help our audience understand the ease of use, like how RealWear enables partners to help with the adoption aspect? When our technology resellers encounter these end users, what can we do to help them adopt that technology?
Yeah. Oh man, I remember starting at RealWear and thinking this was the easiest product to use, and then actually going to a customer site and them informing me they had classes on teaching people how to use a tablet. And that was kind of this wake-up call of the difference in just regionally in America and around the world of what actual end users their understanding of technology is. And even though this is a simple say what you see solution, and we try to even make it as simple as if they couldn't read off a word, they have shortcuts to use this. Because technology can be scary to a lot of people. If it's not working correctly, then we're not going to use it. Or also a lot of people, especially right now, when you talk about unions, a lot of people think technology will take their jobs. So one of the things that we've done is we've really worked with our partners to provide them courses to actually teach their end users how to use the device, or even identify those use cases where technology like the RealWear device or solutions like PTC will really fit, because that's another thing. You don't really want to put a wearable head-mounted tablet in a place where they really can use the cell phone. So we actually provide to our partners in a self-paced learning portal information on that, on how to sell the device, how to demo the device, but we also have a trainer academy as well to train our partners on how to train on the device. And then through our distributors, we also sell training. So about one training session to teach them how to use the device, and one solution can get them off and running, and they can figure it out pretty easily from there.
Yeah, I've seen some of that stuff too. The training, I mean, it's just so thorough, and you really can't underestimate, what it takes to get started. But if you can get started on the right foot, you'd mentioned the networking, and I know that's a sweet spot for Mrinalini. Standing up the actual connectivity in the environment to be able to use these things is something that is the combination of all of our companies can do to help get these applications out there. Once they're trained up, actually adopt and use the technology successfully. So it's really important, and I'm really glad to have you guys provide that to us. So Mrinalini, one more for you here. Instead of components, just a headset, right, or a head-mounted tablet, customers today, they're increasing, full-on solutions that are tailored specifically to their needs, their tasks. You mentioned a bunch of different types of industries, so obviously there's some nuances there. How does this trend affect the market for IoT in general and augmented reality in particular, the topic of the webinar?
Yeah, actually, last company that I worked in, which is a manufacturing company, heavy hardcore manufacturing company, you enter the place and you see all these whiteboards, and you see all these paper work cards that are there. And that's usually how many of the manufacturing units actually give work out to the associates on the floor to actually produce, give them the order of what they need to produce in the day. So, and if you can see, as younger workforce comes in, they would be looking at, can I just get my work order on my phone so that I can just follow it and produce what I need to produce. So that transformation from that hardcore paper to digital is happening. So the digital transformation of workflows, you are going to see that transformation happen. And they are also going to have a need to bring the workflow to the level of providing them step-by-step instructions in terms of what they need to do one step at a time. So, and then based on the response, you want to ensure that the workflow responds to it. So that's one of the things that you would see. Second is quick response to continuous improvement. So as things are being produced, they want to go ahead and modify it and push the modifications so that whether it is in the workflow or whether it's in product development, whatever that may be, they may want to do that. And therefore, they want to have quick response to continuous improvement that they're actually putting in place. The data-oriented outcomes, right? So most of the manufacturing sites you go to, you previously had these green, yellow, red, lights over there. Nowadays, they have TV screens which is showing performance and productivity, availability. So there's a lot of data charts that are being pushed out there, and therefore there's a huge need for data-oriented outcome-based operations optimizing OEE. Additionally, there's another area which is emerging significantly is the continuous feedback using digital twins for product designs. So as it goes through the process, they want to provide that feedback into the product design. Therefore, they can have and implement. They can make the changes and implement new product designs or modification in product designs very quickly, and they can see how it flows through the manufacturing process. So all of these are various different outcomes that the customers are expecting. So therefore, most of these outcomes can be achieved only by integration of individual technologies from various different companies. And those outcomes require solutions specifically targeting the outcomes that are required for the industry. So packaged, integrated, multi-vendor solutions driving these outcomes are critical in this industry because you are targeting operational teams who are not tech savvy. Therefore, you cannot address them as an IT team. So you have to address them as an OT team and provide them the technology that they need, ease of use, and future-proof so that as new applications come in, you can easily push it out to the team. So therefore, I think it is a right way of addressing the market to produce integrated solutions. And I think the PTC plus the Vuforia client and the RealWear is a great combination of how we can address some of these in the manufacturing site.
Right. Again, it's very nuanced, and being able to kind of discover along with our partners is something that Ingram Micro is here to help with, right? These different unique types of situations, we have experience, we have a team. If everybody didn't catch it, OT, operational technology versus IT, that we're all so familiar with, we have expertise in that area. So we can really help even in the discovery phase when it comes to these manufacturers and these industrial providers that are just looking to make these changes, but maybe don't know where to start, or have thought about starting and don't know what to do about it. But back to you, Jacqueline, kind of the same question I just asked Mrinalini. How does this trend of end-to-end solutions affect the AR market compared to just selling the RealWear HMT? In your case, right, the RealWear head-mounted tablet. So how do you bring that data from the factory floor to the cloud?
I mean, lucky for us is we create the vessel, and essentially the software is what you want to do with that vessel. So it's pretty easy for us because all we have to think about is how the person's going to wear it, and all everybody else has to think about, the software providers, is how are you going to integrate it? So I think the key words here are integration and future proofing. So it's all about those applications you put on the device and making sure those applications are actually communicating to the machinery or communicating back to the cloud or wherever it needs to communicate to, or especially communicating to other applications, which is a huge one. But then also the other thing is future-proofing it. We've created a vessel where now you can constantly be updating these applications for the needs. Okay, a pandemic just hit, and now we need to write in something that can do this remotely, and that connects to this. So really, in terms of AR and our device and how it's being sold, like I said, we just have the easy job of the vessel. It's what do people want to do with the vessel? Is what you have to think about.
That's great. Well, awesome. I really appreciate that feedback. I can say I have just a couple more questions because we do have a few minutes. Mrinalini, you're our global leader. In what ways do you see PTC solutions being, more beneficial, I guess would be the right word, than just a free video conferencing solution, which are kind of standard and you can easily spin those up?
Yeah, I think Jacqueline rightly stated, we are in a virtual world post-COVID days. Still the travel between the continents has not yet started in full stream, right? Even if you have to travel, there's so much roadblocks that you have to overcome. And people are also hesitant about traveling between states in some scenarios, right? So, but business has to go on. manufacturing industry has to continue to go on, right? So the advantage of all the different products that PTC has a lot of different products addressing the manufacturing industry, which includes augmented reality solutions, industrial IoT, CAD, PLM, and I had mentioned all the different use cases, and you can see how these things all are interlinked with what needs to be done. So there is going to be a huge opportunity to integrate these solutions, and PTC provides a good comprehensive set of products that can be taken and address and address the need for manufacturing units at the edge, and providing them visibility into data and visibility into the operations, and giving that to the manufacturing team, the maintenance teams, the operations teams, and the IT team, so that it is actually the technology that's going to bring all these teams together in terms of working together to make productions, to improve productivity in the manufacturing floor.
Yeah, again, that's great because we had Christmas coming up, different holidays coming up, and we need all these products shipped, and we need it done quickly. And having the supply chain and manufacturing issues being straightened out, I know is important to everyone for a lot of reasons. So I guess Jacqueline, just again, we have another minute here. Similar to the very first question that I asked Mrinalini, 12 years of digital transformation in 18 months. From a RealWear perspective, where do you see AR in the next 3 years? Why will these extended realities, augmented reality, why will it continue to expand?
It takes a long time to adopt technology in enterprise. And I think there's been a huge uphill battle when it comes to augmented reality. Especially when you think about how we started, like with the Google Glass actually going into enterprise, and they pulled it for a while. They stopped selling it. And so when RealWear started, we saw a lot of apprehension of people wanting to adopt our device. And a quote that sticks out to me is one actually from Shell during the pandemic. And before the pandemic, there was a lot of people at Shell, they liked our device, but they really weren't too gung-ho on jumping forward and doing a mass deployment, because they were very kind of unsure, is this really going to solve our issues? Yeah, right now, but is there something else going to come along? Is this going to go away? It's a startup company. And they actually wrote and have it on their website, a quote saying, after the pandemic, or because this was actually during the pandemic, they said, no one has questions about the RealWear device anymore. And no one has questions about this technology anymore, because when they really needed it to come through, and they really needed this device because they couldn't travel, because we were all in lockdown, because there were safety issues. So in the next 3 years, it's very exciting, because I actually see augmented reality applications and also augmented reality hardware being adopted at a much larger scale than we've been seeing today, which is huge. And then also from there, we're going to see a lot of innovation, because people are now going to actually want to be creating applications and hardware for these industries, where I feel like they haven't really wanted to before.
That's interesting. That's really great. I didn't know that about Shell. Well, I guess we have time for one more question, then we'll go to the Kahoot game. We do have a little time if you guys want to ask some extra QA in the audience. Mrinalini, I'll leave it for you. Can you explain how Ingram Micro is building an ecosystem to help our partners grow their business in IoT and XR?
Yeah, when Jacqueline talked about Shell, I remember one of the quotes from my previous company, Motorola, where we talked about moments that matter. During the moments that matter, technology is the one that served them, right? So I think it's true in this space, especially during the COVID world, everything became mission critical. And therefore, technologies like RealWear really served up during the moments that mattered over there, right? This is great aspirational conversation that we've had so far. So now if we want to get to the real nuts and bolts and wanting to help the end customers deliver to the end customer what they need, there's a lot that is needed to be done, right? So Ingram Micro has created this whole ecosystem of different elements that is needed to take to market what is needed for manufacturing IoT, which includes the cloud infrastructure, edge hardware, mobile devices, XR devices, gateways, software, applications, connectivity, and services, so that we can help address the gaps that the partners have and help them deliver the end-to-end solutions to their manufacturing sector. Ingram Micro also has IT and OT expertise in manufacturing. So we can actually bring in subject matter experts to address any consulting and design needs for the partner. At the same time, Ingram Micro has actually launched our IoT Accelerator Program that can help our partners develop their IoT practice with solutions, go to market, and the type of services that they need to take to their customers. So we have developed a comprehensive way in which we can help our partners go deliver, get into the space and deliver to their customers.
That's great. I think if everybody didn't catch that, the IoT Accelerator Program, right? We could send some information about that after the call if you're looking for ways to engage, looking for how we can help. As Mrinalini mentioned, the OT experience, there's definitely a gap between IT and OT that we know, needs to be satisfied, and we can help there. So I guess we'll kind of wrap things up. It's good to kind of get things done early. But before we do that, I just wanted to pause for a few seconds. If anybody has any questions out there in the audience, we'd love to hear from you. I'll take that as a no. The silence is a no, but we will engage after the call here. So let me do this. I'm going to put a link in our chat, and this link here is it's a platform, a gaming platform called Kahoot. If you've never heard it before. So you'll see a link here in chat. And if you click on that link, as soon as you arrive, it's going to prompt you for a code. And you just give me a second here. I'll give you that code, and then you can join. I believe your screen will show some symbols, a square, a circle, a triangle, and you'll see my screen here in just a minute. When I share it, the answers to the questions that you can type in. There's only 6, and they're either, everybody see that? A little hard to see. 95, 93, 730. If you want to just put that in your Kahoot website into that link, we can get the game started. There's 6 questions. See a couple people joining, and again, rewards will be given. Cash will be given to our winners of the contest. So please, try to answer them accurately based on what you've heard today. It's not too hard. I didn't make it hard, but quickness matters too. So how fast you can actually answer the questions will determine if you're one of the winners. I still see some people popping on, so I'll just still give it a minute. But again, 95, 93, 730 is the number here. So a couple more people. Yeah, you don't have to join from your phone or anything. You can just open up a tab. Give it one more minute here. I'll start it, and I'll share my screen so you can see the questions. All right, we're going to get rolling here. One sec. Find the right screen here. Great. Use that volume. All right, so everybody sees my screen. I'll assume the answer is yes here. What does RealWear's HMT stand for? 5 seconds. Oh my gosh, the timer started before I could get a chance to get it out.
Hey, Art, I don't know if you want to reset. We're not looking at your screen right now.
Oh, okay. Thanks, man. 1 second.
Just looking at your desktop.
All right. Oh, that's because I shifted the page around. Sorry, guys. Let me restart it here. Oh, Alan, you won. All right, we got to put a new game pin in. Ah, what a bummer. Sorry about that, guys. Game pin is on my screen. It's 36, 83, 687. So if everybody wouldn't mind just popping in that link, I'm embarrassed. I'm sorry about that, but I appreciate your patience. Okay, we'll give, I think there was one other player, if I remember correctly. I'll get it started here. Everybody ready? The question comes up pretty quick. Question 1 of 6. What does RealWear's HMT stand for? What does HMT stand for? Got 4 choices. Howie Thomas Mandel. He's a comedian, right? Don't think it's that one. Oh, good stuff, guys. All right, we've got one question out of the way. We'll get some totals here, I think. True or false? The RealWear HMT1 obstructs the user's vision. Their field of vision, FOV. True or false? All right. Got that one right. There we go. There are the totals. Okay. Game of speed, I think. Ready for the next one? Quiz question number 3. What is PTC's AR software called? I think we said it a couple times. What is their augmented reality software called? Get everybody buzzed in. Just wait till the timer goes down. Oh, everybody got that right almost. Stuff. All right. Totals. Pete Gonzalez taking the lead. What is the easiest way to determine ROI after deploying an AR solution? A little bit obscure. I know we talked about it at least once, but if you put your put yourself in the mindset of those questions and answers that we asked, what is the easiest way to determine ROI after deploying an AR solution? That's right, improved uptime, reduced travel expenses. You saw a lot of that with the global pandemic over the last couple of years. Mike jumping in, Alan on fire. We have one more question after this. This is a true or false. Does Ingram Micro provide operational technology subject matter expertise to our partners? Everybody should get this right. Ingram Micro provides operational technology subject matter expertise to our partners. True or false? Okay, we got the answers in. Perfect. Perfect, we do. We have OT experts. Speed counts. There's Alan. Coming up. Last question, guys. Overall, what is the biggest trend causing increased IoT and AR deployments? Mike Bella, did you put that one in there? Buffalo Bills, come on. I want them to win a Super Bowl. So what is the biggest trend?
There's no choices coming up.
Oh, you didn't see that last one?
There you go.
Oh, you might be right. We only had one respondent here. Let's see what happens. Sorry about that. Third place is Mike with a capital I in the middle. Second place is Alan. And first place, P. Gonzalez. So I'm going to be in touch with you guys over the next, probably by early next week. I'll be in touch with you about what we can do about that prize. But thank you for the participation. Anybody who is still available and on this call, we appreciate your time. We thank you for your interest. If you do have any last minute questions, feel free to fire them out now. Otherwise, we can get about 10 minutes back in our day. All right. Well, hey, thanks again. All right, guys. Have a great day. Thanks, Jacqueline. Thanks, Mrinalini. Thanks, everybody. Bye, all.